But we wanted to build our own trails and make our own trails. So Phil and I and Woody, and we all kind of rode a lot of animal trails, deer trails. And that's what Phil's trail was to begin with. It was a deer trail. It was just it was really hard to find your way up this canyon. But because it was in a canyon, we found our way all the way up to the top of the first main dirt road that was already there.
The story behind Phil's trail is, I was out riding on a Saturday on a logging road, and I found a game trail. And I followed this game trail. It was a rough go for a while. But I got to the end, and I said, the end ended at another road. I called Phil that night and said, you got to ride with me tomorrow. So he and I and John Halcroft rode the deer trail, and we clipped it, tried to clean it up. At the end, people started riding, and then Jim Tahar, Paul Thomasberg, Jeff Frizzell, different people started adding links when it hit the other road, new links, and eventually that developed into the Phil system. And that's when the Forest Service said, wait a minute, something's going on. We need to control it a bit.
I mean, we were building trails where we didn't have permission, but you really couldn't get permission back then because mountain bikes, they thought mountain bikes were going to go away.
It was a lot of fun. The more we rode it, the better it got worked in. And before long, Phil's a trail building expert.
I had worked for the Forest Service fighting fires for 2 summers just after I got out of high school. So we built trails doing that to get in shape for the fire season. So I had some experience of building trails, so that's one reason I kind of got started in, and with Woody and Dennis and some other people doing early trail work. And we'd go to the Forest Service meetings and try to talk them into letting us do more trail building and more of what we wanted to do. And it helped a little, but it was slow.
He's so, gosh, you know, I mean, he's just so humble, you know. Phil is humble. I mean, you know, we're riding up this trail that he made, and this guy comes down, he says, you guys know where you're at? You need some help? And Phil, you know, I would have said, hey, I made this trail, right? You know, no, he was just quiet, you know, and, you know, just, you know, he's never elevates himself. And so I like to elevate him a little.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, it doesn't make that big a deal to me, but Woody and I kind of pioneered the trail up through the original one up through there. And we didn't use tools, we just rode and looked for deer trails and double tracks. And then as it expanded, at that point I was working with the Forest Service fairly extensively, so they just stuck my name on the whole system there. They didn't ask me about it, they just did. But I think it was because I was working with them. I don't even ride over there anymore because it's usually so crowded. We have friends come from out of town, of course the same thing, they got to ride Phil's trail, so we'll go over and ride it, but that's about the only time I go over there.
Well, thank Phil for that. He did most of the work.